Hello YouTube, it is Champion DJK coming at you again with another video, and today we're going to take a look at some Greenlight. I have not picked up a lot of Greenlight this year, like hardly any at all. And really because I haven't seen much. I haven't seen them put out much. Now, I just recently did some surplus goodies exclusives, so we did do that. We did, I don't know, I can't even really remember what else I've shown from Greenlight this year. I just know it has not been much. Remembered I just picked up that one the other day, so I had to grab that. But anyway, so I have not picked up much, but I'm going to show you what I did pick up over the last however long. I want to say since like probably all year, really. I don't really remember doing any Greenlight videos this year, or much of them. But so yeah, I mean, we're just going to take a look at it. They've gone through some weird changes, some leadership changes, all sorts of stuff in Greenlight that's been kind of what appears to be a little bit of a mess. And I'm not really sure. They hired some CEO, I thought, that was from like Hot Wheels RLC, and then I don't think she's any longer working there. Or I just don't know what's really going on with Greenlight. So, whatever. That being said, all that aside, let's take a look at what I did pick up. I've got some pretty cool items here. We're actually going to just start with a tank. Why not? This is a 1944 M4 Sherman Tank with bulldozer from U.S. Army World War II, Greenlight. So I know they're changing their packaging. There's all sorts of changes coming from Greenlight. Maybe next year, maybe 2025 is going to be a good year for the old Greenlight Collectibles. We shall see. All right, so we have to open these up with the scissors, of course, which I like to kind of do this method. Now, for this particular casting, or casting that's like this, I actually use the packaging to store the car later on, because these tanks in particular are, you know, there's some fragile bits and pieces on them, and they're not exactly easy to store. The coolest thing about these is that these are like actual 1/64 scale, these tanks, and so they're massive, and that is super cool. Greenlight you know, over their diecast career, whatever you want to call it, over their time of making diecast collectible cars, have done some really amazing and cool stuff. They've done so much cool stuff that like nobody else really has done. Like a lot of the trucks that they made in true 1/64 scale or an actual 1/64 scale, like dump trucks and stuff like that. And there's been diecast companies that have made dump trucks, but not really in 1/64 scale. So the fact that they do this kind of stuff, and like these tanks, stuff like that, monster trucks, all that, they got a really cool line. That's one that you will find in Walmart, and that seems to be stocked pretty regularly. Or the monster truck line, and of course those are pretty popular. So that. But anyway, this is how I usually store castings such as this. Is you can just put them right back in this blister, and then I put them in like a tote, like a plastic box, and they sit kind of stacked like that. There's nothing holding this on, but as long as this isn't like moving around, I wouldn't like ship it like this, but as long as this isn't moving around too much, it's a pretty good way to actually store these things. All right, so just wanted to show you that real quick, but let's take a look at this tank real quick. And you know, how cool is this, really? It's not perfect, right? I mean, these things cost as much as any other regular Greenlight, and there's a lot going on here. So, like, this plow doesn't actually sit all the way down perfectly. It's really nothing much to complain about for the price point that you pay for this. This is a lot of diecast for the price point. The tracks are actually rubber. They don't really roll. I mean, they're intended to kind of be able to roll, and there is moving bits here and all that, but they don't roll that smooth, and honestly, that'd be quite a challenge to get that to actually like just be able to be pushed across the desk or something like that, and get it to roll normal. And that's fine. This the turret here moves back and forth. Does this have some up and down movement? No, it doesn't. It's fragile. You got like a gun thing up there, and you know, lots of nice detail. I mean, really, these are really neat. I don't pick up all of them, but I have a couple now in my collection, and they're just cool to have. So this is in the Greenlight Battalion 64 series. And you'll see in this series they put out like army trucks and stuff as well. But I had to get some versions of the tank casting, so I do have a couple of these in my collection. And I just think they're pretty neat. We're going to leave this one out just for scale, right? But just another quick look at the detail here. So all those little wheels move. So I can kind of roll it here and kind of see that they move. And then this articulates kind of like, sort of articulates up and down. I'm not even sure that it's even meant to move up and down. I think it's just kind of on there. And I'm trying to see if you can actually remove it or take it off. And yeah, you can. You totally could. You could totally remove this if you didn't want this plow thing on here. You could take it off. I'm not going to. For risk of breaking it, I'm not going to, because it's not. While you can do it, I don't know that you should. It kind of snaps in there pretty good, though. And we can look at numbers on the bottom. 19290. This is tooling number 213 for anybody that cares. But a really cool piece, right? Really, really neat. We need to move on. All right. Let's go to... Well, let's stick sort of themed here. This is a 1947 Dodge Power Wagon. I believe this is a pretty new tooling. So let's just go ahead and cut it open. This is from Greenlight Hollywood History Channel, Pawn Stars. Not familiar with the episode. I've watched, you know, Pawn Stars. I don't know. It seems to be the thing you watch when you're stuck in a hotel room or something like that. It's like marathons or something. All right. 1947 Dodge Power Wagon. And I believe this is like quite a new tooling. This one I may store like the same way because it looks like it's got some fragile side mirrors on it. Let's take a look at the base really quick. So 217 is the tooling number. I believe this is the first one that I've... So this is 213. So this is 217. So it's a newer tooling than the tank. And this rolls really nice. Like really smooth and nice. It's got a metal base, metal body. Pretty sure it's, you know, it's probably 1/64 scale. Everything about it is pretty much metal. I don't know, except for, you know, the front bumper bit is plastic. But this is really nice, actually. Lots of detail. Looking pretty darn good. I believe this is a pretty much brand new casting, or somewhat new. I don't have one in my collection, and that's kind of how I collect Greenlight. I try to get examples of every tooling that they make. That's kind of a fun way to collect Greenlight, is to do that. But so this is the version of this tooling that I will keep in my collection. And you know, I'm guessing it's to scale. It almost looks a little bit small, but I don't know. We're looking at it next to a tank, so that's kind of different there. But I don't know. I would think this would be a little bit bigger, and it looks like when we get to those Firebirds back there that they're almost the same length. But it's an older truck, so it's probably maybe not that big. I don't know. Kind of neat, though. If anybody knows anything about scale and if this appears correct to scale, you know, let me know. Where you're really kind of seeing it, though, is the door looks kind of small. So I am just not sure on this one. It's nice looking, though. It looks really good. All right, let's do this. We've got the 1965 Harvester Scout half cab pickup. This is in Blue Collar Series 13, which is a newer one. I'm going to go ahead and cut it here off cam. pop this one out. So Harvester Scout, half cab. So this one has a detachable roof. Well, it kind of sits in 2 posts, so it does kind of click in. So here's this casting. So that's kind of neat. The Johnny Lightning does an International Scout as well. Pretty basic. We've got just painted details for headlights and taillights. We've got a trailer hitch on this one. And of course we have the removable top. And actually quite a bit of detail, molded detail in there, including the pedals are detailed inside of there. That's pretty good. So I wonder if we are going to see some improvements from Greenlight over time here. They've done a lot of really cool stuff. They've had some missteps when it came to quality control, so it'd really be nice for them to get that under control and kind of step it up a little bit. I think this is going to be pretty neat. All right, then we got this 1970 Harvester Scout with utility trailer. This was clearanced out at a Meijer for $7. So normally the Hitch and Tow series, this is from Hitch and Tow Series 30. Normally the Hitch and Tow series are a little bit, obviously more expensive than a single car because you get a trailer with it. So this is kind of team transport-ish, but not really. Truck and trailer. There's your Scout. Looking pretty good with the hitch. The top does not come off on this one. And then we've got this little utility trailer. Seems to look pretty cool. It's got the ramp that you can snap into the back. Maybe. Doesn't really want to. Oh, there it goes. There it goes. So you've got a ramp you can snap into the back, and of course a hitch. Can we get that while we're on camera here? Oh, it really wants to snap in. I don't know if I'm going to snap it in. Oh, and then it's supposed to have, where's the little thing? Ah, yes, the little trailer jack thingy here. We gotta get that out of the packaging so I don't lose it. So the Hitch and Tow series, when they first launched this series, it was very, very, very popular. Extremely popular. Obviously, there's been a lot of them now. We're in Series 30. I don't like collecting a bunch of trailers, so I don't really buy these much anymore. But this one was, so reasonably priced. It was hard not to. And now I got a version of this trailer tooling, which this trailer tooling is pretty basic. It's got a metal base and then a plastic top, including the railing is plastic, but they make it look pretty seamless. Color match is really nice, and color match is really nice with the International, and it can go on any of these with a hitch, so kind of a clashing color combo there, but that is also possible should you want to do that. Overall, their International Scout casting, it looks decent. I'm going to say decent. It's not, I don't know, there's like a little more flair, I think, to the one from Johnny Lightning. I think I like their tooling a little bit better than this one. I think it's a different one, though. This is the International Scout. I think theirs is the International Scout 2, something like that. So maybe that's why. Yeah, because this is just a 65 Harvester Scout. The other one might be a little bit more of an updated version. I think it looks a little bit cooler. Cool truck though, or SUV, I guess, or whatever, Jeep-like thing. Pretty nifty. All right, we've got 4 left. We got 2 movie vehicles, and then we got 2 Firebirds. Let's go ahead and open up the Firebirds first. This is an older casting. This is a MidwestDiecast.com. So this is an exclusive product to Midwest Diecast. And it's a 1987 Pontiac Firebird GTA So this casting is pretty neat. I do collect it. I try to get any version of it that comes out. So we're going to open up both of them right away. So we'll open up this one then too. We're looking at that one. This tooling I think is getting a little tired though, and it's not always without issue. Same with their other Firebird tooling. So we'll set those there. It's got almost like a gasser thing going on to it with the base. And I know like the real car kind of almost looks like that, but not really. Ooh, what do we got on there? Blech. What is that? Some sort of goo. Somebody's like ear cheese. I don't know. Gross. So yeah, not without some quality concerns here. We got that. I guess the base looks okay. The base is actually on pretty straight on these. Midwest Diecast, so pretty basic exclusive. So if you want these, you can find them from, I would imagine, MidwestDiecast.com. I think I got them from my buddy's Surplus Goodies. Does the hood open on this tooling? I can't even remember. It's been a long time since I've opened one, and yes, it's supposed to. However, there we go. Didn't want to at first, but there you go. You got some detail on this one. So this is an older Johnny Lightning tooling, and let's look for the number. It's tooling number 26. So this goes way back. So these may not necessarily be truly 1/64 scale. I don't know. Would a Firebird be nearly as long as this truck in real life? Not sure, but I don't think I've ever seen them side by side, but it's possible, I guess. This one's just got like weird goop and stuff all over it, but it'll suffice. I'll put it in my collection. The older ones of these, if you find an older release of this Firebird, they're really nice and really cool. These, you know, this tooling's been around, like I said, for a long time, so it may not be in the best of shape. All right, well, there's your Firebirds. Let's get into the movie cars. Let's start with, we're going to end it with True Romance. So, The Crow. This movie was quite popular when it came out, possibly for the wrong reasons. 1973 Ford Thunderbird. Of course, Brandon Lee, right? He unfortunately, I think, passed away during the making of this movie. And they had to, like, finish it with, like, I don't know, some sort of holograph of him or whatever. And I believe this is from the original movie. I can't even remember it. I know I've seen it long time ago. Wasn't one that was like a repeat watch for me. This is the 1973 Ford Thunderbird. GL 234. So, brand spanking new tooling. I don't know if they're going to put this out without the blower motor sticking out of the hood and the side pipes and all that stuff. But what I do know is this thing does look pretty awesome. Very cool. Now the car, and it rolls actually pretty good too. So the car in the movie, I don't think is very like prevalent in the movie. I don't really remember though. If you probably see it a few times, but it's like totally in the dark. Like this whole movie is like filmed in the dark. We got a brush guard up front. There's lots of details to this thing though. T-Bird. This is pretty sweet, actually. We got a little like scratch across the top. That's how it was in the package. Not too bad. I think when this first came out, though, people were buying it. Same with that Cadillac Eldorado that we're about to open up. So it's a good job there. So this is Series 41 of Hollywood. Both of these cars are in that series. And I think when that series hit, it sold pretty well. What was the Pawn Stars? That Series 42? Yeah, so at Walmart you can get Hollywood and Kings of Crunch, and I think that's it. I think that's the only Greenlight that they're really stocking at Walmart, and I think Target as well. I don't really normally see any other... Well, Target has some other series, actually, now that I think of it. Showroom Floor. I'm trying to think of what else I've seen there. Maybe even Blue Collar series. Just Greenlight doesn't seem to have put out very much this year. That's kind of what this video is about. But this car, I did not buy this for the car, honestly. Even though I did need a version of the 74 Cadillac Eldorado, I bought this for the movie. And I've seen this movie many times. And you think, True Romance, that sounds like a, you know, like some girly movie, whatever. No, this movie's awesome. I highly recommend you watch it if you're not familiar with it. I believe, so, I mean, there's so many people in this movie that are well-known actors from that era and actresses. You got Patricia Arquette, Christian Slater, Christopher Walken, Brad Pitt, James Gandolfini, Gary Oldman's in it. Who else is in this freaking movie? Dennis Hopper. I mean, there's a ton of like actors. I don't know if you're my age, you know. And I think the story was actually written by Quentin Tarantino, but he didn't direct it. So somebody else that's a movie aficionado will probably know. Probably a resident nerd, Derek, who knows a lot about Hot Wheels, and I think knows a lot about music and knows a lot about movies probably as well, I'm going to guess. But this car, I think, maybe only appears at the end of the movie. And the whole thing, like, oh, Val Kilmer plays Elvis in the movie. So, anyway, it's a really good movie. It's definitely not for kids. It's, but I would highly recommend, if you've never seen this movie, to give it a shot. And check out True Romance. It's a really good flick. Really cool. Brad Pitt. Did I mention Brad Pitt's in it? Yeah, he's in it too. I mean, all these characters kind of have small roles in it. Besides Christian Slater, he's like the main actor, and of course Patricia Arquette. But there's so many actors in there that make appearances in the movie. It's so good. All right. So we got what's I think supposed to be like a pink Cadillac. It's almost like a purplish Cadillac. It's not quite as pink as I think, you know, maybe it was intended to be. The card art shows way more of a pink color, pink hue. But when I saw that they were doing True Romance, I think they did a police car too. But when I saw that they were doing True Romance, I was like, oh my God, I have to have that. I've got to get that for sure. I think they did a cop car from it too. I should have bought that. I didn't. But this thing is, yes, awesome. True Romance 109. Michigan. It rolls really well too. And this has got to be a newer tooling. Let's take a peek. 233. So it is a very new tooling. So I am digging that quite a bit. So Greenlight. This is a really solid tooling. It rolls really nice. This is a really solid tooling. This is a pretty solid tooling too. So this one is okay. So I think, I don't know, I'm excited to see if they ever start actually putting out a bunch of stuff and a bunch of new toolings and all that jazz. And maybe they haven't. They've just been so under the radar I haven't noticed. But they could make quite the, after this kind of reorganization and stuff, maybe quite the comeback. And, I mean, maybe they never left, but, you know, maybe we'll see a lot of new stuff from them. It would be nice. Never hurts to have options, right? Even though it does seem like we have a load of them these days. All right, that's all for now. Thank you guys very much for watching a Greenlight-based video. This has kind of reignited my love a little bit for the GL. So you guys let me know what you think. I do actually have a bunch of older Greenlight I still need to open too. So one of these days we'll get to that video. A bunch of stuff I still have packaged that I gotta get open, and I just haven't yet. So we'll have to do that at some point. And I'm talking way old. All right, thank you guys very much for watching. Have a great day.